I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of 1 Kings, chapter 6, and let's focus on verses 11 through 13. The word of the Lord came to Solomon, "As for this temple you are building, if you walk in my statutes, execute my ordinances, and keep all of my commandments by walking in them, I will fulfill my promise to you, which I made to your father David. I will live among the Israelites and not abandon my people Israel." If you ever watched one of those home improvement shows where the couple decides to make over a room by utilizing the do-it-yourself approach, right? DIY. Well, I'll just say that they typically learn that some jobs demand a professional. Now, I admit, I can do work around the house, but I'm not really a construction guy. I don't like doing handiwork around the house because when I'm finished, it usually looks like a kindergartner did it. I'm not into construction. Maybe you are, and I hope that you're just itching to help me with some renovations. Call me. So you can imagine my lack of excitement as I approach a chapter like today's. It's pretty much a detailed play-by-play blueprint for how to build a temple. And if you're into construction or architecture, well, then this may be the chapter that changes your life. Totally not my kind of thing. But there are two distinctions that struck me as quite profound here. The first one is how this chapter represents more than just a holy building project. It is the beginning of a whole new era in Israel's redemptive history. Now, Israel was 430 years in Egyptian bondage before God redeemed them with the gift of freedom. And likewise, Israel's worship was in a perpetual state of wandering for 480 years before God gave the ark its gift of rest. What I'm saying is 430 years in Egyptian captivity, but after they left during the Exodus, it was 480 years after that the Lord allowed for the ark to rest. God had decided Israel's wandering was over. Hence, he allowed Solomon to build him a house. It was as if God would not rest until he had given Israel rest. Now, the second item that sort of jumped out from today's chapter for me was the timing in which the Lord appeared to Solomon. God spoke to Solomon in the middle of the temple's construction. Now, exactly between the exterior and the interior construction phases. Now, why is this important? Well, consider the Apostle Paul's words to the church at Corinth in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 and 20. "Did you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, and whom you have from God? Are you not your own? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which belong to God." It's not enough for us, as followers of Jesus, to have a clean, well-built exterior. We must also have a sanctified, set apart for God interior. You can have the former without the latter. What do I mean? You can look righteous, but not be righteous on the inside at the core. But if you have the latter, you get the former by default. That is, if you are righteous on the inside, then it will show in your actions, your outside. So perhaps today is the day that the architect, the author, and the finisher of our faith has interrupted construction on you and myself in order to underscore how much our personal obedience matters to him. You see, the entire kingdom of Israel's blessing rested on Solomon's obedience. Whose blessing is dependent upon your obedience? I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And if you're being ministered to through the daily teaching of Groundworks Ministries, and you would like to help us to bring revival by leading God's people back to the Bible, would you consider donating to Groundworks Ministries today? Because we need your support now, especially in this economy, more than ever. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, so check us out at groundworksministries.com.